Welcome back, everybody. Stephen Meade here for Domicile real estate for people who love houses. This is window shopping, where we take a look at what I think is probably the coolest house of the week, or at least the one that's the most interesting to me, and maybe it will be interesting to you. And I like to try to vary the price points, the sizes, the areas, the styles a little bit to give you an idea of some of the different things that are out there on the market. This one is in the hills of Fullerton. And this is actually a house that's kind of interesting because I showed this house a few years ago, the last time it was for sale, to some clients. I thought it was a super cool house then. And this is a home too that is very unique in the sense that I think the fireplace really makes the house. And, you know, in other areas, in other parts of the country that are a little colder, super prominent fireplaces are much more of a consideration. And I think too, to the mid-century modern architects in California, fireplaces were often a focal point of the homes, sometimes with even distinctive hoods going over. And, you know, this house really has something that's quite spectacular. And I'm so pleased that it has never been, you know, removed from the house, because I think something like this is the kind of element that perhaps in the very misguided 90s, somebody might have taken out. So I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Again, this is a cool house. It didn't quite work for the clients a few years ago, the last time it was for sale, but I'm glad to see it is available again. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this is actually on a pretty big lot. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this house. In the hills of Fullerton, there are a lot of custom designed homes. And, you know, some of these homes were originally built by people who own local businesses, right? So a lot of times they wanted to make a statement. And this is one of those homes. It's not our listing. It's listed by Randall Hill of First Team Real Estate, but we would love to represent your interests as a buyer. It's 4 beds, 3 baths, and it is just under 3,000 square feet, built in the mid 1960s. It's on a pretty good sized lot, but it's actually a very hilly lot, so that can be a little bit deceiving. So cool standing seam metal roof, something you don't really see out here in California. I don't think it was built this way, but quite honestly, it's a wonderful addition to the house. Lots of glass. There's a carport over here, which I know was a contention for my clients at the time. Looking at it, they wanted a real garage. You also have this kind of cool arrangement looking into this front yard. It's actually set back from the street a little bit. So maybe this gives you an idea. The street's right down here in this corner. Solar panels on the roof. And really a good amount of privacy from the street, even though it doesn't seem like it would. You have this small little front door here, which I always thought was a little funny. The previous time this house was for sale, it really had been flipped. And I thought they made some good choices. The front door was not one of those good choices. This home needs a large glass front door, frosted if you're concerned about privacy. These are kind of some cool steps, these sort of exposed aggregate concrete steps coming down from the street. They look like they were done in the 70s, but really kind of a cool example, that almost like brutalist 70s hardscape design. Obviously, a lot of plants have been added, and this is your view from the street. So really, it is pretty private. And then we get to the inside, and this is really where you start to see a truly, truly spectacular home. And you've got this beautiful skylight in the center, all this exposed structure here. You've got this dining space in the center under that skylight. I mean, really, this home has just a nature and a character that you're just not going to find really in anything else in Fullerton, really, let alone Orange County. Maybe in North Tustin, you'll start to see some other homes like this, but this is really kind of the focal point of this home. And that is this absolutely gorgeous copper fireplace. In the center, you've got a cantilevered hearth, huge fan in the center. They've also done what's called offset beams. So what that means is the load is carried by these, but there is no ridge beam in the center. That was actually a common trick. Cliff Meade did that in a lot of his later homes. You saw that technique, and he would frequently do it when he wanted to have a skylight so that you didn't have a beam running through that skylight. So you kind of had more of an unobstructed skylight view. Here's some closer detail on this fireplace. I mean, really, this is just spectacular. I don't know how else to describe it. I've seen it in person. This is the view from the kitchen island looking out towards that living room. And this is that skylight in the center, which is really a focal point of that dining space. So a very cool open layout design for this home. Some of the decor elements are a little bit more transitional maybe than I'd like. I think you could go with something that's just a little bit more purist contemporary in a home like this. But given that it's up in the trees, I like that maybe they've added just a little bit of softness to a couple things. So this is a huge kitchen too, which is nice. You know, many of these homes that were built in the 60s do not have large kitchens. You know, that was before the era of the kitchen being the focal point. This home does have a large kitchen, wine fridge, really just a full featured dual island kitchen. Pretty cool. One of the other neat things that I love about this house is that there's a lot of like little secret spaces, little landings. This is a stairwell that goes downstairs kind of along the back of the house, and it's just full glass looking out into this wooded backyard. The railings, again, not really my choice. I think something either all glass or something with cables would really work well here, but that's not what the previous developer chose. These are actually steel stairs, so you technically don't even really need a casing on these. They could be floating treads, which I think is what I go back to. And you have this kind of bonus area down here at the bottom of this landing, which is kind of a den, home office workspace. Upstairs, this is the primary bedroom. Here, again, lots of glass, open beam ceilings, you know, really, really just a cool space. Lots of doors that go out. Large bathroom, at least by 1960s standards. You've got dual vanities there, which were not common at that point in time. Good sized shower and tall ceilings, walk-in closet. This is kind of a little bit of another intermediate spot. Like I said, there's a lot of cool kind of nooks and crannies in this house. Just little spots, little places to kind of sit. Here they've arranged this as another home office. This is up another level. There's a full bath up here, so this could be a guest suite even. Another bedroom with a suite. I mean, really, there's a lot of room in this house. There's a lot of space. Laundry area. And then this is that carport view. You know, we had discussed this with a client. I think there are some opportunities to enclose this if you wanted to have a real garage. You just have to be careful. I mean, there's kind of this cool effect of this carport of it sort of floating on these pillars. And I don't think you'd want to ruin that. Here's a deck going out in the backyard, more decks going down the side here. This is actually a pretty large lot. But again, when you look at it from this angle, what you can see here is that a good amount of this is sloped. And I always thought this was a missed opportunity to really develop some extra space. So there are some staircases and things leading down here. They've kept it mostly natural. I feel like you could develop this a little further even. You know, a lot of homes will say park-like backyard. And I really hate that phrase because I think it's honestly, it's complete bullshit. Most of the time it is just agents picking things that sound nice. This is one of those times. This is a park-like backyard. The only negative on this backyard is that you are above Harbor Boulevard. Here's a fountain down here. Like I said, I think this area, a lot's done to this, but it's just not quite there yet. I think there could be a little bit more done to make this at least more useful space that had a little bit more purpose, even though I do love that kind of pond area that you're seeing here and these trees. I wouldn't want to take the trees out. They really add something to the home. Anyhow, pretty awesome house, pretty amazing. It's listed just under 1.7, which is not an inexpensive house. I understand that, but it's almost 3,000 square feet. I'm trying to remember exactly what the lot size is. Yeah, it's 0.42 acres. This is a big lot. It's a great spot in Fullerton, has a lot of accessibility. If you're interested in this home or any other architectural homes, absolutely reach out to us. We are here to help you and represent your interests as a buyer. There is a link in the description down below for a 15-minute, no cost, no obligation consultation. We love doing those. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we will see you again real soon. Oh, I almost forgot. we're going to switch up our days. We're going to actually start doing our weekly architectural email on Friday. There are a lot of great homes that come on the market on Fridays after we record these videos and send out these emails. So again, we're probably going to switch that up and do our first time buyer market update on Thursdays instead. So keep an eye out for that. We will see you again real soon.